To start the next section of the tutorial, I've gone ahead and paused the game. We're going to want to take a look at what sort of things our colonists need, and this tutorial section will give you an idea on how to keep track of this so that you can make sure that you're satisfying your colonist requirements as you grow, as your colony grows, and they grow as people. So if we go ahead and click on the information menu option here at the top left-hand corner of the screen, there's a menu item here called Colony Requests. And if we click on this, it'll give us a report of the different things that our colonists are requesting. Usually failure to satisfy these requests will leave them unhappy or annoyed, which will make them less effective at most everything. We can see right now that a bunch of our colonists are requesting access to new media. Virtually all people love to consume media. And media exists in a couple of different varieties in Outer Colony, but the most straightforward way to satisfy this requirement is giving people access to datanet terminals. The datanet is Outer Colony's analog for the internet in the real world. It's a virtual space where writings of all different kinds can be posted and shared. When Outer Colonists consume writings from the datanet, they usually have positive experiences. It influences the way they think. This is used to establish your local culture and all sorts of other things. But when there's no datanet terminals available to your people at all, when there are no technovisions or anything that gives them access to media, they'll tend to get grumpy. So we see that basically everyone is demanding access to new media. And we can see that a couple of colonists are making requests for adequate rooms for their families. So what's that all about? Well, as your social network develops and evolves, the relationships between people will become more complex. If we click on the information menu at the top left of the screen again, and click on the colony social network visualization, this will load the graph that we've seen before, showing the different kinds of links between all the people in our colony. You can see that these are much more advanced than they were the first time we looked at them. You can see that there are more romantic relationships, more friendships. This colony is a little bit strange in that we've got more enmity going on than you usually see at this stage in the game. But what's most important to note here are these purple links. Purple links are for partners that are married, husband and wife. Some cultures embrace the notion of marriage, and core worlders are one of them. Now, when a couple gets married, they'll want to have an individual room that they can live in, and they'll be upset if they're forced to live in communal rooms. So nuclear families all need spaces of their own. Right now, we've got a married couple, but they're stuck living in these communal rooms, which is a source of frustration. So we're going to want to go ahead and provide them with individual rooms going forward. So to satisfy these two requests that we've got plenty of, we're going to go ahead and manufacture some datanet terminals, which will give people access to media. And we'll follow the exact same steps we did to manufacture everything else. We're going to want 5 of these. We can use cobalt for the case. We've got plenty of silicon left, so we'll just go ahead and use that to satisfy all of our requirements here. And if we start getting low on raw materials, we'll go ahead and mine more and refine it as necessary. We've already got a few light structures left. If you remember, we started with 3 all-weather huts, and we're going to have sufficient furniture and sleeping items to equip the light structures that we'll deploy to give rooms to the married couple. So I've gone ahead and issued the datanet terminal manufacturing order. I'm just going to go ahead and issue more silicon mining orders because we're going to need more quartz-bearing rock to refine into silicon pretty soon. And I'll go up to the Z level that contained our cobaltite and issue orders to mine more of this because we're going to need more of that. We do have some volumes of these on hand, so I'm going to go ahead and refine some. 400,000 quartz-bearing rock to refine, and another 400,000 cobaltite to refine. And this will get everyone going. Again, you can monitor the progress of these orders via the orders dialog, and you can see events being completed here as our workers proceed. We'll go to colony supplies again. We'll switch from materials to available items. We'll look under furniture, and pretty soon in here we'll get a couple of datanet terminals. We can see that the orders are being worked on already. One of them's been produced, and as soon as that datanet terminal becomes available, we'll go back to viewing Z level 59, and inside of our socialization area, I'll go ahead and place that first DataNet terminal. Now, as soon as this gets placed, colonists on their leisure shift are going to start using it for their own purposes. They'll start, creative ones will start writing things and posting their ideas to the DataNet, and everyone will start consuming things from the DataNet, and that'll influence their mode of thought, which is going to ultimately adjust your local culture. If you want to see the contents of the DataNet, again, you can click on the information menu item here at the top left corner of the screen. There's a View DataNet Contents option. When you click on that, it's going to bring up all of the different media on the DataNet. Right now, nothing is available, but if we give this some time, we'll check back in on it after some NPCs have been on their leisure shifts. We'll see the sorts of things that they've begun to write and post to it. So we've taken care of our initial requirement for having insufficient access to media. In the next step, we're going to expand our housing and get individual rooms set up for our new couples.